Let's just jump right into it. Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating thought experiment. We spend so much time obsessing over the mechanics of high-stakes competition, the grueling physical training, the cutting-edge gear, the endless hours of practice. But what happens if you just strip all of that away? What happens when the physical playing field is, well, perfectly level? That's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're looking at a scenario with two elite contenders stepping up to the starting block, and we'll break down the profound psychology that separates the good from the absolute great. So here is the core mystery for this explainer. When two athletes are physically identical in every conceivable way, what actually determines the winner? I want you to really challenge yourself on this one. Think about a scenario where literally every physical advantage is erased. No superior muscle mass, no better lung capacity, no faster twitch fibers. Gone. When you can't rely on the physical stuff, what's left? What is that unseen engine driving one person across the finish line just a fraction of a millisecond before the other? We're diving straight into the realm of pure sports psychology to figure this out.
All right, Section 1. The perfect tie. Physical equality. Imagine these two athletes. They've both won multiple intense rounds just to get to this exact moment. They've got world-class coaches obsessing over every single facet of their training. They're rocking the absolute optimal track shoes designed specifically for this surface. Even their fuel is identical. We're talking strictly measured, dietitian-guided food portioned for maximum energy output. So yeah, absolutely no cheat days here. Literally, nothing has been left to chance. They are basically mirrors of elite human potential. The really crucial takeaway here is that their physical preparation is exactly identical. Their bodies, their gear, none of that is going to determine the outcome of this race. They are in a state of absolute 100% physical parity. The physical prep phase, it's completely over. Mathematically, it's a perfect tie. So the battle of the bodies is a draw, which means the battle of the minds is just getting started.
Moving on to Section 2, Mindset 1, the outcome.
Let's get inside the first athlete's head. Their mind is racing, just incredibly fast. They're repeating this mantra, I will win, I am unbeatable. They're frantically rehearsing every step of the race on a loop, totally obsessing over being this unstoppable force. It's a super high-octane, intense internal environment. They are essentially pumping themselves full of adrenaline and this massive sense of urgency. And what's super fascinating here is their absolute obsession with the outcome. Psychologists call this an outcome-focused mindset. They're already imagining the accolades. They're literally visualizing themselves standing on that dais claiming first prize. They can already hear their country's national anthem blaring in their ears. Their mental energy is completely projected forward in time. They're living in the victory before the starting gun has even gone off. Now, don't get me wrong, this kind of extrinsic motivation is a really powerful driver, but it also carries an insane amount of pressure. It rips their focus away from the immediate task and basically drops the weight of the entire world squarely on their shoulders.
Which brings us to Section 3, Mindset 2, the present.
Now contrast that chaotic energy with our second athlete. Instead of leaping into the future, this athlete is firmly anchoring themselves in the right now. Their internal monologue is incredibly simple, clear, and quiet. Focus on the track and literally nothing else. Zero distraction. Because they completely trust all that preparation we talked about, they consciously shut out the noise. Their only goal is getting everything right in this exact second. It's all about process over outcome. This right here is a textbook example of cultivating a flow state, stripping away all that anxiety about what comes next so you can achieve peak mindfulness in the present. So instead of dreaming about future glory, their focus is beautifully grounded in sensory details. They're telling themselves, feel the wind, feel your pulse, feel the energy, feel the spark, and just give it your best shot. They are fully embodying their physical space right now. There's no desperate demand to win. It's just a profound, quiet commitment to executing this moment to the absolute best of their ability. While the other athlete is a hurricane of anticipation, this one is finding calm right in the eye of the competitive storm. All right, let's put these side by side. Section 4, the head-to-head comparison. The divergence here is honestly massive. On the left, we've got athlete 1, completely consumed by the future and external pressure. The accolades, the anthem, the winning. On the right, athlete 2 is totally grounded in the present with this internal sensory focus, the wind, the pulse, their form. One is living entirely in the result. The other is living entirely in the process. It is the classic psychological showdown, right? Extrinsic motivation, running for that shiny gold medal, versus intrinsic focus,
running just to perfectly, mindfully execute the race itself.
Let's wrap it up with Section 5. Who will win? Okay, so the tension is absolutely peaking. Both athletes are completely alert, perfectly poised, just waiting for that starting gun to crack. That physical equality we set up, it's miraculously still intact. But the mental realms they're currently inhabiting are literally light years apart. One mind is already waiting at the finish line, completely weighed down by the heavy expectation of victory. The other mind is hovering precisely over the starting block, dialed into the exact physical mechanics needed to launch.
So I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on from today's explainer. When the physical prep is a perfect tie, when the shoes, the diet, and the muscles totally cancel each other out, which mental state actually crosses that finish line first? Is it the one fueled by this frantic hunger for future glory, or the one anchored in the calm, sensory execution of the present moment? Think about how you approach your own starting blocks in life. Let that sink in. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this today, and I'll catch you in the next one.